What if everything you've been taught about random events is completely wrong? What if the world around you operates on a hidden network of meaningful connections that most people never discover? Those moments when you think of someone and they immediately call. When you take an unexpected route and it saves your life. When the perfect opportunity appears exactly when you need it. These aren't lucky breaks or statistical flukes. They're direct messages from an intelligent universe that's constantly trying to communicate with you. For thousands of years, powerful institutions have worked to keep this knowledge hidden. Why? Because once you understand how synchronicity really works, you become impossible to control. You stop being a passive victim of circumstances and start recognizing your true power as someone who actively shapes their own reality. The educational system, media, and scientific establishment all depend on you believing that life is random and meaningless. But what if that's the biggest lie ever told? Let me ask you something personal. How often have you experienced that eerie feeling when you're thinking about someone and your phone buzzes with their message? How many times have you felt a sudden urge to change your plans, only to find out later that this decision prevented a disaster or led to an amazing opportunity? Most people dismiss these experiences as mere chance. But what if I told you these are actually precise interventions from a universal intelligence trying to guide your life? The famous psychologist Carl Jung was the first modern scientist to seriously study what he called meaningful coincidences, events that seem unrelated by normal cause and effect, but carry deep personal significance. While Jung's work was groundbreaking, he only scratched the surface of a much more profound truth. In his private writings, Jung admitted he had discovered something that could completely overturn our understanding of reality itself. Jung wrote in his personal notes, "These meaningful coincidences operate with mathematical precision, even though they appear to have no physical cause. They represent an entirely different way of understanding how reality works, one that challenges everything Western science believes about the nature of existence." Jung suspected, but never publicly declared, that these synchronicities prove the separation between mind and matter is nothing more than an illusion. What Jung only hinted at, we're going to explore completely. Synchronicity isn't just an interesting psychological phenomenon that happens occasionally. It's actually the fundamental operating system of reality itself. It's how the universe's intelligence communicates with you every single day, providing guidance, confirmation, and warnings exactly when you need them. The apparent chaos and randomness of modern life is actually a carefully constructed screen designed to hide this truth from you. Here's what's really happening. From the moment you were born, you've been systematically programmed to ignore the synchronistic messages that surround you constantly. You were taught to only trust what can be measured, weighed, and calculated. Any experience that doesn't fit this narrow worldview gets labeled as superstition, coincidence, or wishful thinking. This programming isn't accidental. It's a deliberate strategy to disconnect humanity from its natural ability to navigate reality through intuitive guidance. When people remain ignorant of synchronicity, they become perfect consumers, obedient employees, and easily manipulated citizens. They look outside themselves for answers, validation, and direction. But synchronicity reveals a disturbing truth for those in power. You were never meant to be a helpless victim of random circumstances. You've always been an active participant in creating your own reality, even when you didn't realize it. Every event in your life is actually an external reflection of your internal state. Your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and energy patterns in each moment. This creative power, your ability to directly influence what shows up in your physical experience, might be the most carefully protected secret in human history. It's no accident that mainstream science insists you're just a random biological accident in a cold, mechanical universe. This story keeps you disconnected from your true potential. When you start recognizing the synchronicities in your life, something irreversible happens. The veil begins to lift, hidden patterns become visible. Your communication with universal intelligence becomes clearer and more direct. This awakening poses a serious threat to external control systems, because someone who understands synchronistic forces can't be manipulated through fear, scarcity programming, or divide and conquer tactics. Learning to read synchronicities isn't just intellectual curiosity, it's a revolutionary act of personal freedom. It's your first step toward reclaiming the innate power you've always possessed as a conscious creator of your experience. This ability has been lying dormant beneath layers of social conditioning that systematically deny how interconnected reality really is. The uncomfortable truth is this: you were never actually separate from the universe you're observing. Your consciousness isn't some accidental byproduct of brain chemistry. It's a localized expression of the same universal awareness that permeates everything in existence. Synchronicities are the exact moments when this fundamental connection becomes temporarily visible, breaking through the illusion of separation that dominates ordinary human experience. This understanding didn't appear out of nowhere in modern times. Long before the 20th century gave it a name, ancient civilizations operated with complete awareness of this invisible web of meaningful connections. In fact, the suppression of this knowledge represents one of the most successful cover-ups in human history, systematically erasing millennia of accumulated wisdom about how reality actually functions. The ancient Chinese encoded this wisdom in the I Ching, an oracle system based entirely on the principle that each moment in time carries inherent qualities that link seemingly unrelated events. What modern science dismisses as coincidence, the I Ching recognized as natural expressions of the universe's underlying order. But here's what most people don't know. The I Ching wasn't just a philosophical system. It was a precise technology for reading the informational patterns embedded in each moment of time. Ancient Chinese scholars understood that time itself has texture, density, and information content. They developed sophisticated methods for extracting meaning from the quantum foam of possibility that surrounds every decision point. When someone consulted the I Ching, they weren't seeking fortune-telling or magical predictions. They were accessing real-time data about the energetic currents flowing through that specific moment in the space-time continuum. Egyptian mystery schools possessed equally advanced knowledge about synchronistic navigation. The hieroglyphic system wasn't just a written language. It was a symbolic technology for encoding multidimensional information into physical reality. Each hieroglyph functioned as a holographic trigger, capable of activating specific states of consciousness and attracting corresponding external experiences. Egyptian initiates learned to read the synchronistic messages embedded in daily life with the same precision that modern scientists read mathematical equations. The deliberate destruction of the Library of Alexandria wasn't just about burning books. It was about erasing humanity's accumulated knowledge of consciousness technology. Thousands of texts detailing practical methods for conscious reality creation, synchronistic navigation, and multidimensional communication were systematically eliminated to ensure future generations would remain ignorant of their true capabilities. Shamanic cultures across every continent intuited what science is now slowly confirming. Reality isn't objective or independent of the consciousness observing it. Instead, there's a continuous interaction between the observer and what's being observed, between mind and physical matter. For shamans, synchronicities weren't strange anomalies, but obvious evidence of this fundamental interaction between consciousness and reality. Ancient Indian Vedantic philosophy went even further, declaring that all perceived separation is illusion, what they called Maya. What we experience as separate events happening in different times and places are actually just ripples on the surface of one indivisible ocean of consciousness. In this tradition, synchronicities are simply moments when the illusion of separation temporarily dissolves, revealing the underlying unity of all existence. Modern synchronicity research emerged through careful documentation of unexplainable correlations between people's inner psychological states and outer physical events. For decades, researchers collected cases where external events seemed to perfectly mirror internal mental and emotional states. This systematic correlation between inner and outer worlds led to theories about a unified field of information that operates beyond the normal limits of space and time. Synchronicity suggests an unbreakable connection between the psychological condition of the observer and external physical events. This perspective predicted discoveries in quantum physics that would later demonstrate how conscious observation literally changes the behavior of matter at the atomic level. Quantum physics equations revealed that particles separated by vast distances remain instantly connected, providing the first mathematical model for what mystics had intuited for thousands of years. Mexican neuroscientist Jacobo Grinberg took these theoretical concepts further by experimentally proving how human consciousness directly affects physical reality through what he termed the neuronal field. His revolutionary experiments showed that people in deep meditative states could measurably alter quantum coherence patterns in their immediate environment. Grinberg provided scientific proof for what spiritual traditions had claimed for millennia. The mind doesn't just perceive reality, it actively participates in creating it. This groundbreaking research was suddenly interrupted when Grinberg mysteriously vanished in 1994, a disappearance that many connect to the potentially world-changing nature of his discoveries. His work fundamentally challenged the materialist worldview by empirically demonstrating that consciousness isn't just a side effect of brain activity, but a fundamental force capable of directly interacting with the quantum field that underlies physical reality. But Grinberg's research revealed something even more extraordinary that mainstream science still refuses to acknowledge. He discovered that advanced meditators could create what he called syntropy, the ability to influence events backwards through time. In controlled laboratory conditions, he documented cases where meditation practitioners could measurably affect random number generators and quantum random event generators minutes before they even knew these devices existed. This backwards flowing influence suggests that consciousness operates outside the normal constraints of linear time. When you experience a synchronicity, you're not just receiving a message from the universal field. You might actually be receiving communication from your own future self, providing guidance from a timeline where you've already resolved your current challenges. This would explain why synchronicities often carry such precise, personally relevant information that seems impossible for any external intelligence to possess. Grinberg also documented the phenomenon of brain synchrony between individuals who had established deep emotional connections. When one person in a bonded pair was shown a flashing light, the other person's brain would show identical neural firing patterns, even when they were separated by hundreds of miles with no possibility of normal communication. This suggests that consciousness creates non-local entanglement between people, forming invisible networks of shared awareness that transcend physical separation. In his influential book, The Holographic Universe, researcher Michael Talbot combined these discoveries into a unified model of reality where synchronicities aren't anomalies, but natural expressions of the universe's holographic structure. Talbot proposed that the cosmos functions like a massive hologram, where each small piece contains the complete information of the entire system. Just like each fragment of a hologram contains the whole image, each moment potentially contains information about the entire universe. Talbot's holographic model perfectly explains why synchronicities occur. In a holographic universe, the separation between events is fundamentally illusory. What appears distant in normal space and time remains intimately connected at the level of the underlying information field. Synchronicities are simply moments when this fundamental interconnection becomes temporarily visible in conscious experience. The mainstream scientific paradigm systematically suppresses these discoveries because they threaten its core assumptions. A universe where consciousness directly influences matter, where events separated in space and time can be meaningfully connected without direct physical causation, is completely incompatible with the mechanistic materialism that supports current power structures. Talbot's holographic universe theory, combined with Grinberg's experimental proof of the neuronal field, provides a complete scientific framework for understanding synchronicity not as superstition or wishful thinking, but as a fundamental property of reality. This model perfectly bridges ancient spiritual wisdom with cutting-edge discoveries in quantum physics, neuroscience, and information theory. The continued marginalization of this knowledge doesn't reflect lack of evidence, but ideological resistance to its profound revolutionary implications. A true understanding of synchronicity threatens not only outdated scientific paradigms, but also social, economic, and political systems that fundamentally depend on maintaining the illusion of separation and individual powerlessness. Throughout your entire existence, you've been conditioned to view reality as a collection of fragmented, unconnected events controlled by the harsh laws of chance and probability. This fragmented perspective isn't just incomplete, it's intentionally deceptive. The fundamental truth that very few people dare to state openly is this: nothing happens by accident. Nothing. Ever. Every encounter, every event, every passing thought that enters your awareness is precisely coordinated within an invisible network that connects all things. This invisible network doesn't operate according to the limited laws of classical physics, but through principles of energetic resonance and vibrational correspondence. Just like two guitar strings tuned to the same note will vibrate together even without physical contact, your personal energetic frequency, determined by your dominant thoughts, emotions, and states of consciousness, inevitably attracts experiences that match that frequency. The vibrational state you maintain isn't some abstract metaphysical concept, but a measurable neurobiological reality created by the electromagnetic fields generated by your heart and brain. These electromagnetic fields aren't contained within the boundaries of your physical body, but extend outward and interact with the quantum field that underlies material reality. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, literally changes the configuration of this field, attracting experiences that correspond to your unique energetic signature. Jacobo Grinberg documented this phenomenon through precise neurological experiments, demonstrating how internal mental states create specific interference patterns in what he called the neuronal field, the fundamental matrix of information and energy that underlies physical matter. His studies showed that emotions like fear, anger, and scarcity create chaotic, destructive patterns in this field, while states like love, gratitude, and peace generate harmonious patterns of high coherence. What you experience as external reality is simply the physical manifestation of these vibrational patterns. Negative synchronicities, repeated obstacles, destructive relationships, ongoing financial struggles aren't cosmic punishments, but precise feedback from the field reflecting your predominant internal states. Similarly, positive synchronicities, unexpected opportunities, life-changing encounters, and creative breakthroughs are natural manifestations of internal states of expansion and possibility. This understanding completely revolutionizes how we approach problem-solving and goal achievement. Instead of trying to force outcomes through willpower and effort alone, conscious individuals learn to shift their internal frequency first, knowing that external circumstances must inevitably reorganize to match this new energetic signature. This is why some people seem to effortlessly attract success, love, and abundance, while others struggle despite working much harder. They've unconsciously mastered the art of frequency alignment. The most successful entrepreneurs, artists, and innovators throughout history have intuitively understood this principle, even without the scientific language to describe it. They learned to follow their inner guidance system, making decisions based on what felt energetically aligned rather than what appeared most logical on paper. Steve Jobs called it following your intuition and trusting that it will lead you somewhere meaningful. What he was really describing was navigation through synchronistic awareness. Modern neuroscience has now identified the specific brain networks responsible for this intuitive navigation system. The default mode network, active during rest and introspection, shows increased connectivity in individuals who regularly experience meaningful synchronicities. This network appears to function as an internal GPS system, constantly scanning the quantum field for patterns and possibilities that align with your authentic expression. The pineal gland, often called the third eye in spiritual traditions, plays a crucial role in this process. Recent research shows that the pineal gland contains magnetite crystals that respond to electromagnetic fields, essentially functioning as a biological compass for navigating the informational currents of the quantum field. When you experience that sudden knowing about which direction to take or which choice to make, you're literally receiving magnetic guidance from the field through this biological navigation system. This reality creation mechanism operates whether you believe in it or not. Just like the law of gravity doesn't need your permission to function, the law of vibrational resonance shapes your experience regardless of your conscious awareness. The crucial difference is that while gravity operates automatically, your vibrational frequency is under your direct control once you understand how the underlying mechanism works. Modern quantum mechanics confirms what Talbot described in his holographic universe theory. At the most fundamental level, reality doesn't consist of solid objects separated in empty space, but of probability fields that collapse into defined states only when observed. Your consciousness isn't merely a passive observer of this process, but an active participant in determining which possibilities become concrete experience. The apparent mysteries of quantum physics, superposition, non-locality, quantum entanglement, are confusing only when viewed through the limited lens of mechanistic materialism. When understood as natural expressions of a fundamentally holographic universe, where each part contains the whole and where consciousness and matter are complementary aspects of the same underlying reality, these mysteries reveal themselves as elegant and predictable properties of the cosmos. The separation you perceive between yourself and the world is the primary illusion that conceals this fundamental truth. Your consciousness isn't trapped inside your skull, observing an external reality through the limited windows of your physical senses. It's a non-local field that interpenetrates and continuously interacts with the broader universal field, co-creating moment by moment what you perceive as objective reality. Spiritual traditions that teach you create your own reality aren't offering empty motivational slogans or feel-good metaphors. They're stating a literal truth about the nature of existence, a truth systematically hidden by institutions that depend on your passive acceptance of an apparently fixed and unchangeable reality. When you understand that synchronicity isn't the exception, but the fundamental rule of the cosmos, your entire perception of life undergoes a radical transformation. There are no victims of random chance, only unconscious co-creators. There are no lucky or unlucky coincidences, only precise manifestations of your predominant energetic frequency. The invisible network that permeates all existence isn't an external force acting upon you, but the medium through which your own consciousness expresses itself as concrete experience. The universe is continuously communicating with you through an elegant language that goes beyond words, a language of symbols, numbers, and patterns that most people have been trained to overlook. This communication isn't random or accidental, but a sophisticated feedback system designed to guide you back into alignment with your authentic nature. Symbols serve as bridges between the visible and invisible realms, between the explicit and implicit, between conscious and unconscious awareness. Repeating numerical patterns represent the most obvious manifestation of this symbolic language. When you begin noticing sequences like 111, 222, 333, or 1234 repeatedly appearing on license plates, receipts, clocks, or addresses, you're not experiencing statistical coincidences, but coded messages directed specifically to your consciousness. Each numerical sequence carries a distinct vibration and communicates a specific message. The sequence 111, for instance, traditionally signals an opening of accelerated manifestation, where your thoughts materialize more quickly than usual. The pattern 222 frequently indicates that you're moving in the right direction, even when external evidence suggests otherwise. The sequence 333 generally appears as confirmation of support from higher dimensions of consciousness. These aren't random interpretations, but consistently documented patterns observed by thousands of people over many years. Encounters with specific animals at meaningful moments represent another aspect of this universal language. When a hawk crosses your path exactly as you're considering an important decision, or when a butterfly repeatedly appears during a period of personal transformation, these aren't coincidences, but intentional communications. Each animal carries distinct vibrational frequencies that resonate with different aspects of human consciousness. Michael Talbot, in his research on the holographic universe, noted that these symbols function as holographic triggers, access points that connect your individual consciousness to the broader informational field. When you encounter one of these symbols at a significant moment, an instant synchronization occurs between your local consciousness and the universal holographic matrix, allowing the transfer of information that transcends normal space-time limitations. Prophetic dreams represent another dimension of this symbolic communication. When you dream of an event that later occurs in physical reality, you're not passively predicting the future, but accessing the field of non-local possibilities that exists beyond the linear constraints of time. This access naturally occurs during sleep because the cognitive filters that normally limit your perception to 3 physical dimensions temporarily relax, allowing more direct perception of reality's multidimensional nature. The language of archetypes, the universal patterns of meaning that transcend individual cultures and historical periods, constitutes the deepest level of this symbolic communication. When archetypal patterns such as the hero's journey, the wise teacher, or the guardian of the threshold manifest in your life through specific encounters, you're not experiencing coincidences, but the precise unfolding of your personal evolutionary journey. Each archetype carries a specific set of lessons and catalysts for consciousness expansion. This sophisticated symbolic language isn't recognized by conventional science because it operates through meaning rather than mechanical causation. Meaning is inherently subjective and contextual, impossible to quantify through the reductionist methods of scientific materialism. This methodological limitation is often presented as evidence that the phenomenon doesn't exist, when in fact it merely reveals the fundamental inadequacies of the materialist paradigm for understanding non-physical aspects of reality. Digital synchronicities represent a new frontier of this symbolic communication. When your phone rings with an important message precisely at the moment you were thinking about that person, or when a specific song begins playing that contains exactly the message you needed to hear. These aren't random glitches in digital algorithms, but manifestations of the same universal intelligence adapting to the new technological extensions of human consciousness. The emergence of artificial intelligence and digital technology has actually amplified synchronistic communication rather than diminishing it. AI algorithms, despite appearing purely mechanical, operate through pattern recognition systems that mirror the holographic structure of consciousness itself. When you experience technological synchronicities, like ads appearing for exactly what you need, or random shuffle playing the perfect song, you're witnessing the quantum field expressing itself through digital networks. Social media platforms, search engines, and recommendation algorithms have become unwitting amplifiers of synchronistic communication. The same quantum principles that govern meaningful coincidences in physical reality now operate through digital networks, creating technological synchronicities that guide you toward people, information, and opportunities aligned with your evolution. This is why you might randomly encounter exactly the right video, article, or post at the perfect moment. The algorithm isn't just analyzing your data, it's channeling the synchronistic flow of information. Even more fascinating is the phenomenon of digital twin flames. People who experience uncanny synchronicities through online interactions despite never having met physically. They might post similar thoughts simultaneously, experience technical glitches at identical moments, or discover they were online at the exact same times without any coordination. These digital synchronicities suggest that consciousness creates entanglement through any medium, including virtual networks. The internet itself functions as a technological nervous system for humanity, allowing synchronistic communication to flow instantaneously across global networks. When someone on the other side of the world posts exactly the insight you needed to read, or when you discover a piece of information through a seemingly random click that changes your life's direction, you're experiencing the internet as a medium for collective consciousness communication. What's most important to understand is that this symbolic language operates continuously, whether you notice it or not. The key difference between those who live lives apparently controlled by chance and those who navigate precisely through meaningful synchronicities isn't the presence or absence of these signs, but their ability to consciously recognize and interpret them. Your social conditioning was carefully designed to prevent this recognition. From early childhood, you were taught to dismiss as imagination or coincidence exactly those experiences that would reveal your intimate connection with the intelligent field of the universe. This conditioning isn't accidental, but a deliberate strategy to keep humanity disconnected from its natural capacity for intuitive navigation through multidimensional reality. The first step to liberate yourself from this limiting conditioning is simply to begin paying attention. Notice the patterns that emerge in your life. Observe which symbols, numbers, animals, or themes appear repeatedly at significant moments. Record these occurrences without judgment or hasty interpretation. Gradually, you'll begin to recognize coherent patterns, the unique signature of how the universe communicates specifically with you. I'd love to hear about your own synchronicity experiences in the comments below. What patterns have you noticed in your life that seem too meaningful to be mere coincidence? The concept that your emotions directly influence your reality isn't a mystical spiritual claim, but a verifiable neurobiological fact. Your emotional experience isn't confined to the boundaries of your physical body. It generates measurable electromagnetic fields that extend far beyond your bodily limits and directly interact with the environment around you. This isn't a poetic metaphor, but a physical reality documented by sophisticated scientific instruments. The HeartMath Institute, a leading research organization, has proven that the electromagnetic field generated by the human heart is approximately 60 times more powerful in amplitude than that generated by the brain, and can be detected several meters away from the body. This field isn't static, but changes dramatically according to your emotional states. Emotions such as fear, anxiety, and anger produce chaotic and incoherent patterns in this field, while emotions such as gratitude, love, and compassion generate highly coherent and harmonious patterns. Jacobo Grinberg extensively documented how these emotional fields directly interact with what he called the neuronal field, the fundamental matrix of information energy that underlies material reality. His experiments demonstrated that negative emotional states create destructive interference patterns in this field, literally disrupting the quantum possibilities available for manifestation, while positive emotional states create constructive interference patterns that amplify and organize these possibilities. What does this mean in practical terms? Simply that your predominant emotional frequency not only reflects your internal reality, but literally shapes the field of possibilities that will manifest as your external experience. When you remain in emotional states of fear, scarcity, or victimization, you're literally tuning yourself away from the frequencies where your solutions, opportunities, and meaningful connections exist. The human brain functions primarily as a filtering mechanism, not a perception mechanism. Of the billions of bits of information available at any moment, your brain allows only a tiny fraction to reach your conscious awareness. This filtering process isn't neutral or objective, but profoundly influenced by your predominant emotional states. When you operate from fear, your brain literally filters out information that could contradict this emotional frequency, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of danger and scarcity. Michael Talbot observed that these emotional frequencies function as access codes to specific portions of the universal holographic field. When you consistently maintain a particular emotional frequency, you're effectively tuning into the corresponding channel of multidimensional reality, accessing only those possibilities that resonate with your predominant internal vibration. This understanding of the neuroscience of emotions explains why different people can experience radically different realities while inhabiting the same physical environments. They're not simply interpreting the same reality in different ways. They're literally accessing and materializing different subsets of the infinite field of possibilities, determined directly by their predominant emotional frequencies. The implications for physical health are equally significant. Research in psychoneuroimmunology demonstrates that emotional states of fear and chronic stress dramatically suppress immune function, while states of love, gratitude, and peace enhance it. This correlation isn't metaphorical, but biochemical. Specific emotional states trigger precise hormonal cascades that directly regulate your immune response, cellular repair, and gene expression. The The conscious transformation of your emotional frequency is not, therefore, an exercise in superficial positive thinking, but a precise neurobiological intervention that fundamentally alters not only how you perceive reality, but which aspects of multidimensional reality you're able to access and materialize as concrete experience. The most effective method for consciously elevating your emotional frequency isn't trying to suppress negative emotions, but deliberately cultivating states of gratitude, appreciation, and unconditional love. Even in challenging circumstances, genuinely finding aspects for which to feel grateful instantly reconfigures your cardiac electromagnetic field, tuning it to higher frequencies of the universal holographic field. Learning to recognize and interpret your personal synchronicities isn't a mystical talent reserved for a few gifted individuals, but a practical skill that can be systematically developed. The first obstacle to overcome is the automatically programmed resistance in your mind to dismiss these events as mere coincidences. This automatic dismissal response isn't accidental. It's the direct result of cultural conditioning that deliberately suppresses your natural ability to recognize meaningful patterns beyond the surface of physical reality. To begin decoding your personal synchronistic language, start a synchronicity journal. Carefully document each occurrence that seems meaningful: unexpected encounters, repeating numerical patterns, dreams that correlate with subsequent events, thoughts about someone immediately followed by contact from that person. The act of conscious documentation creates a neurological pattern of attention that automatically amplifies your perception of these events. The key to interpreting synchronicities isn't imposing arbitrary meanings based on generic interpretations, but discovering your unique symbolic language. While universal archetypes exist, the specific expression of these archetypes in your life is highly personalized. The meaning of a crow appearing at critical moments for you may be completely different from its meaning for someone else, depending on your personal experiences, emotional associations, and specific evolutionary path. To map your personal synchronistic language, look for repeating patterns. Which symbols, numbers, animals, or situations repeatedly appear at meaningful moments? What specific emotions do you experience when these patterns emerge? Is there a correlation between specific synchronicities and subsequent decisions or directions in your life? This mapping gradually reveals a unique symbolic vocabulary through which the universal field communicates specifically with you. A crucial aspect often overlooked is the distinction between psychological projection and authentic synchronicity. Projections are impositions of meaning based on personal desires, fears, or expectations, while genuine synchronicities carry a quality of surprise, precision, and relevance that transcends subjective interpretations. The distinction between them isn't immediately obvious, but becomes progressively clearer with the practice of awakened attention. Michael Talbot observed that authentic synchronicities often carry a distinctive energetic signature, an almost physical sensation of recognition or clicking that resonates at deeper levels than analytical thinking. This sensation isn't emotional or fanciful, but a direct perception of the coherence between the external event and its internal meaning, similar to the experience of instantly recognizing a complex pattern without conscious mental processing. Moments of spontaneous flow, when everything seems to unfold effortlessly, doors unexpectedly open, and necessary resources appear precisely when needed, are powerful indicators of alignment with the synchronistic field. Similarly, persistent obstacles, delays, or systematic blockages often signal misalignment with your authentic path. These signs aren't punishments or rewards, but neutral feedback from the field about your degree of resonance with your most genuine expression. To amplify your synchronistic perception, practice daily moments of mental stillness and conscious presence. The hyperactive mind, constantly engaged in analysis, judgment, and planning, is incapable of perceiving the subtle patterns of synchronicity. Only when habitual cognitive filters temporarily relax, during meditation, creative activities, or immersion in nature, does your perception expand sufficiently to register these subtle communications. Jacobo Grinberg documented how the regular practice of mental stillness literally reconfigures the neural networks responsible for perceptual filtering, progressively expanding the bandwidth of information that reaches your conscious awareness. This process isn't metaphorical, but a measurable neuroplastic reorganization that fundamentally alters which aspects of multidimensional reality you're able to perceive directly. The deepest interpretation of your personal synchronicities emerges through contemplative reflection without expectations or agendas. Ask yourself, which aspect of my growth or consciousness is this pattern illuminating? What dormant quality or potential is being activated? What limiting belief or pattern is being challenged? The most significant answers rarely come as logical thoughts, but as intuitive insights that resonate with a quality of recognizable truth beyond conventional reasoning. Drop a comment and share what breakthrough moment or shift in perspective you've experienced since understanding these concepts. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now. Most people live their entire lives as unconscious participants in the reality creation process. They automatically react to circumstances, attribute their difficulties to bad luck or cosmic unfairness, and celebrate their successes as fortunate accidents of fate. This stance of passivity, deliberately encouraged by institutions that depend on your compliance, represents the most fundamental waste of human potential. The unconscious abandonment of your innate power as a deliberate architect of your own experience. The transition from unconscious creator to conscious co-creator isn't merely a philosophical change, but a practical revolution in your moment-to-moment interaction with the matrix of reality. When you understand that your vibrational frequency directly determines which possibilities materialize as concrete experience, you assume responsibility not only for your external actions, but for your internal states that precede and shape those actions. In the professional sphere, this consciousness manifests as an inexplicable ability to attract precisely the opportunities, connections, and resources necessary for your authentic expression. Business leaders who operate with this understanding frequently report an apparently impossible sequence of fortunate coincidences that open doors inaccessible through conventional means. They're not manipulating reality through magical techniques, but simply consciously aligning with the natural expression of their authentic purpose. In personal relationships, synchronistic awareness radically transforms the dynamics of interaction. The understanding that each person who enters your life represents a precise manifestation of your vibrational frequency completely eliminates the tendency toward victimization or blame. Recurring destructive relationships aren't karmic punishments or bad luck, but precise feedback on unresolved aspects of your own energetic field that unconsciously attract these experiences as opportunities for healing and integration. This principle explains why people often attract the same relationship patterns repeatedly until they resolve the underlying energetic distortion. Your romantic partners, friends, colleagues, and even difficult family members all serve as mirrors reflecting back specific aspects of your consciousness that require attention. Once you heal the internal pattern, these external dynamics automatically shift because the vibrational template that attracted them no longer exists. Advanced practitioners learn to read relationships as living synchronicities. They can identify which aspect of their consciousness each person represents and what healing or growth opportunity the relationship is designed to facilitate. A controlling partner might reflect your own need to surrender and trust. A dishonest friend might mirror your own tendency toward self-deception. A supportive mentor might appear when you're ready to step into your own power. The most profound relationship synchronicities occur when two people are simultaneously working on complementary aspects of their consciousness evolution. These relationships often begin with an immediate recognition, a sense of having known each other before, or a series of impossible coincidences that brought them together. Such connections aren't random encounters, but pre-designed meetings between souls committed to mutual awakening. Family dynamics represent some of the most complex synchronistic arrangements. Children often choose parents who will provide exactly the challenging or supportive environment needed for their soul's development. This explains why children can have such different experiences within the same family. Each is working with personalized synchronistic arrangements designed for their unique evolutionary needs. Understanding these relationship dynamics as synchronistic mirrors completely transforms how you navigate social interactions. Instead of reacting emotionally to other people's behavior, you learn to ask, what aspect of my consciousness is this person reflecting? What is this dynamic teaching me about myself? This perspective shift immediately elevates relationship conflicts into opportunities for consciousness expansion. Decision-making based on synchronicities completely transcends conventional methods of logical analysis. When properly understood, the synchronistic flow serves as an infallible navigation system, revealing not the easiest or most logically obvious path, but the course most aligned with your authentic evolution. Decisions made in harmony with this flow often seem illogical by conventional standards, but invariably reveal their profound wisdom through the subsequent unfolding of events. Internal blocks to conscious manifestation aren't deficiencies of technique or knowledge, but distortions in the personal vibrational field caused by unexamined limiting beliefs. The subconscious conviction of scarcity, unworthiness, or inevitable danger creates destructive interference patterns in the quantum field of possibilities, effectively canceling your conscious efforts at positive manifestation. The identification and transformation of these subconscious frequencies represent the fundamental work for any conscious manifester. The ethics of responsibility in a synchronistic universe completely transcends conventional moralities based on obedience to external authorities. When you understand that each thought, emotion, and intention vibrates in the universal field, directly affecting the holographic whole, you naturally adopt a stance of personal integrity based not on fear of punishment, but on the direct understanding that everything you project into the field inevitably returns amplified as personal experience. This expanded responsibility isn't a heavy burden, but the ultimate liberation from external manipulations that fundamentally depend on your disconnection from the natural synchronistic flow. A human being fully aligned with their nature as a conscious co-creator becomes absolutely impossible to control through propaganda, fear, or material incentives, representing the most dangerous possible threat to systems that depend on passive obedience to manufactured consensus. The truth about synchronicity has remained concealed for so long, not due to lack of evidence, but because of the revolutionary potential it contains. An individual who fully understands that nothing happens by accident instantly becomes free from the fundamental illusions that sustain contemporary power structures. This understanding isn't merely intellectual, but embodied. Once genuinely integrated, it irreversibly transforms your experience of reality. The most advanced science and spirituality converge on this single, undeniable truth. You were never separate from the universe you observe. Your consciousness isn't confined inside your skull, but exists as a non-local field that constantly interacts with the broader universal field. This interaction isn't occasional or peripheral, but the very mechanism through which your reality manifests moment to moment. The synchronicities in your life aren't statistical anomalies, but the language through which the holographic universe communicates directly with you. The repeating numerical patterns, meaningful encounters, prophetic dreams, and inexplicable coincidences are access points where the underlying implicit order momentarily becomes visible within the explicit order of conventional experience. Your emotional frequency, the vibrational field generated by your predominant internal states, directly determines which aspects of the infinite field of possibilities will manifest as your concrete experience. States of fear, scarcity, and separation literally tune you away from the frequencies where your solutions and opportunities exist, while states of gratitude, love, and presence naturally align you with the synchronistic flow that supports your most authentic expression. Understanding that nothing in your life occurs by chance means every synchronicity is a direct communication from the universal field. The question now becomes, how will you choose to live with this knowledge? Will you continue overlooking the signs that constantly manifest around you? Or will you consciously embrace your role as a deliberate architect of your own experience? Consider watching this video again tomorrow morning to reinforce these concepts and set the synchronistic tone for your day. Or better yet, share this with someone who's ready for this level of understanding. When you share consciousness-expanding knowledge like this, you create an energetic ripple effect that not only helps them awaken to their creative power, but also reinforces your own connection to the synchronistic field and accelerates manifestation for both of you. True transformation begins with recognizing your role as a co-creator, and the most effective way to connect with this divine intelligence is through meditation and conscious awareness practices. There are specific techniques and audio tools designed to help you access these higher states of consciousness and strengthen your synchronistic perception. When you're ready to take this journey seriously, these resources can accelerate your awakening to the profound interconnected nature of reality and your power within it. Now that you understand synchronicity operates through quantum principles, you need to understand how your consciousness directly shapes reality through observation itself. The double-slit experiment reveals the shocking truth about how your awareness literally collapses quantum possibilities into concrete experience, proving you're not just receiving synchronistic messages, you're actively creating reality moment by moment through the very act of conscious observation.